Hey, good evening, everyone. We'll start this market debrief meeting. First up, we'll look at the spot gold price. The After last week, this correction or big sell down that happened, gold price had already rebounded quite substantially, almost probably like three quarter of this fall. Okay, so currently, as I mentioned last week, gold price is most likely is going to consolidate within this huge range. Okay, and this 1920 is the all-time high price previously made like 10 years ago. So I will shift this down to 1860. That's the low here that's being done. Okay, so most likely it's going to consolidate within this range, and I don't think in the near term is going to make a new high. All right. So with this, right, a lot of stocks for Singapore mainly is the CNMC. Most likely will also not make a new high from there. So I think at this time we can just give it a rest. But for this, we can know that gold is still very strong. Precious metals are still very strong. Okay, like the silver is still holding well. Platinum, palladium, they are still holding well. Okay, so with that, we can also see that the dollar index, because US are on the unlimited QE, unlimited printing of money to help stimulate their economy. So what we can see here is that the dollar index is continue to weaken. All right, so this weakening is mainly due to this Euro USD. Okay, Euro USD has been a very strong rise against the US dollar. Okay, as compared to Japanese yen or even the USD Swiss franc, it's not much as compared to the Euro USD. Okay, so this is the main reason why this US dollar keep on sliding, and in the case of US dollar to Sing dollar, is still weakening. Okay, previously the low was like 120 something, if I remember correctly. Okay, so it's still a far way off, but I don't think the Sing dollars will continue to get stronger against the US dollar. So with that, we take a look at the S&P 500 index. Okay, we can see here that it is testing the previous pre-COVID times high, all-time high price. Okay, and this is something worrying. Firstly, because the past few days there's a very little volume happening. You can see here, and it's all very small range bar, meaning to say a lot of people are still waiting to see what's going to happen. Will this consolidate back down, or will this break up? If it continue, if it break up, then most likely most of the investors traders will follow suit. So if we were to consolidate, then most likely they will just sell, take profit, and then wait for the next opportunity. Okay, so this past few days, right, the past 1 week has been trading this way, and this is what I can see from this, and the volume here is decreasing. Okay, so we're now like at the inflection point. This is all-time high as compared to the Nasdaq. Nasdaq already moved up, or in fact even make a new high. All right, so down to our regional, we look at the China index. Okay, China index has been doing quite well. China in particular is retest this previous high it made. Like I mentioned, it's going to consolidate. So it did this like about 1 month of consolidation, and now it's retesting the high. So now it's doing a pullback. So we'd like to see how this one turns out. High chance this might break up on the high side. Whereas Hong Kong, as compared to China, Hong Kong seems weaker. Okay, it's been trading on the lower end side of this trend channel. Okay, so this I would say is also at an inflection point. It's trying to see whether it can move up above the 200-day moving average, or it's going to trend down again. Okay, so that is Hong Kong. Whereas for Singapore overall, compared to Hong Kong and China, Singapore is still much weaker. All right, and from what I see, most likely there are still some more downsides that might happen. Okay, so um, for those investors, we can still hold on, continue to save your money. We spread out our buys maybe in the next 1-2 months to look for some value buys. Okay, so but at this moment, I don't think it's still a good time to invest. We just look at short-term trading, to go. Okay, so let's move on to some of the stocks that I've mentioned last week. Yeah, for that, UMS is a dual listing, in Malaysia and Singapore. Okay, so UMS previously it did this nice, very nice run. Okay, so what in my previous meeting I mentioned about UMS here, it's very positive. It's going to run up, and then the day after it just run up. Mainly because of earnings. In anticipation that's going to make um unexpected high earnings or something. So in this, what we can say is their spec in this whole run is speculation, and then when the news come out not up to expectation, right, people just sell it down. Okay, so this if you want to do this trade, it's actually have to be very fast. If things are not going to expectation, then people will just sell down. Traders, prop traders in the banks, their fingers very fast one. Okay, so that is this. For this, we just have to continue to wait. The positive thing is that it's holding well above this $1 area. So if we can continue to trade sideways and start to inch up, then that is a good sign. So same thing, due to all the earning seasons, Franken also, this rally is because of speculation, and then it just kept down because of earnings, not up to expectation. Okay, so we just have to wait out. Most likely it's going to wait another at least 1 month, for it to consolidate. Same for UMS. Okay, Silver Lake Axis. What I know that is earnings is going to come out soon. All right. I will not expect high earnings. Okay, firstly because as they announced the collaboration with a European software, to do some online investment software in the Middle East and Asia. It tends to take some time before the revenue comes in. So I would not expect the revenue to come in high. So most likely it's going to consolidate a little bit more. Okay. So at this moment, for me, I will just see how this one turns out. The good thing is there's a rally yesterday. I think it's in anticipation of the results, and this 285 is holding well. So I would say most likely it's going to be normal, standard, and will continue to stay in this range. So all these companies are in the technology sector. So this is venture, and venture I can see most likely is going to have some profit taking, selling happening already. So this will be good as it comes down. We try to look for new opportunity to see if we can invest in this or get into this stock for trading. Last week I mentioned there's a possible turnaround stock. This is QAF. It announces quite a nice or good results, and I mentioned that this is likely to be a good turnaround stock. Now is past few days it has already broke out, with a 2 days rally and then a pullback. So this is a good sign. So we like to see if there's further consolidation that we can look for nice price or entry to get into this stock. Because most likely this is going to be a turnaround trend, as the 200-day moving average is turning up. Okay, Yoma Strategic. Previously, I've mentioned somewhere around here and here that they have a tie-up with Ant Financial to do payments payment software, and even remittance financial services online, for the country of Myanmar. So from what I gathered, that the amount of subscriber is gathering pace. There are more and more people coming up, signing up for their services. So today there's a huge rally, with nice volume. Not really huge rally, but it's a nice rally. Mainly because they have a business update, mentioning about the results, first quarter results. It's not a full results, but they just give a like an update due to SGX rule change. Allow companies to report twice a year instead of four times. Okay, so what we have here, you can see that Yoma previously was doing more on the real estate development. Okay, so even during COVID times, the 3 months, they are still uh, coming out with pretty decent numbers. Okay, and this is Yoma Financial Services. We have mentioned about the N Financial. So this is the one that is they are building up. All right, and one thing that caught my eye is this unrecognized revenue amount of 17 million. We can see that their real estate development here is only about total about 6.8 million, but they have unrecognized revenue. They haven't add in $17 million as at 30th June. Meaning to say their next result, right? Most likely some of it is going to be recognized, as they build and complete their construction, and then hand over the keys or something. So in the next 6 months, 3 months to 6 months, most likely this revenue is going to be recognized, and put in. So it's going to be expecting this change to continue to be positive for the next few quarters. Okay, and this is the one that I'm interested in, Wave Money. Okay, and right down they are saying that they are growing month on month at a double-digit rate. So this is the one that that they are doing on with N Financial. So they are actually targeting like 11 million monthly active users by about, I think, 2024, 2025. Okay, so that's why I think this is quite a good sign. Now it's still in the consolidation, but it's I would say more towards the end, with a likely breakout that might happen on the upside. Okay, in following this nice rally. This is Yoma. Synergy. Not too sure what they do. You mentioned here technology services. All right, and yes, make a new high, 1 year high, and it stayed above this high, and then now it's doing this nice consolidation pattern. So this is a good sign. Mainly is because 20 cents. 20 cents is like a jackpot price. Why? Because you buy at like 194, 195, 199, and then when you sell, right, trader sells at 205 or 210, they make a very quick gain, because there's a jump in the bid price from 0.1 cents to half a cent, you see. 1 bit to 5 bits. So this is usually these penny stocks, when you want to pass this 20 cents, is I would say is a barrier. Okay, so once this barrier is passed, right, most likely there will be more upside to come. Roughly 2 weeks ago, I mentioned about ST Engineering. All right, and ST Engineering previously was staying around this support area. Okay, and then there is this rally due to earnings. Okay, so most likely they might think that it could be the end of this worst case scenario, no COVID for this company, ST Engineering. So let's see if we can test this, and then see if there's any pullback. So some good signs, nice pattern, then we can look to trade this stock. Okay, or even invest on a mid-term to long-term trade, for the turn trend. So this is ST Engineering. Now, previously, there are some news regarding Singapore wanting to relax quarantine measures for certain tourists. They're looking to widen visitor range or something. And then there are also news that Singapore pump in like 320 million into tourism voucher for locals to go visit tourist places, go to the zoo and something, mainly to make Singaporeans to spend again. So by looking at this, there's only one stock that moved with this news, that is CDL Hospitality Trust. Just looking like what kind of hotels they have, M Hotel, Grand Copthorne, Sentosa, and all this. So there's this move that happened. Okay, 5th August is where the news came out, and then it has this move. It's a small move, but as compared to other stocks like Fraser Hospitality, not much. Is like flat. And then as we compare to Escort REIT, which are doing more on service apartment, it also is also around flat. Okay, so I wouldn't say that investors are taking to heart with this news. All right, I think they want to see more concrete proof that there are more tourists coming to Singapore, or local Singaporeans are spending more at tourist places. So at this moment, I would say the numbers are still not there yet for this hospitality trust to move on. Okay, so for Hong Kong, previously I mentioned about Hong Kong index had a revamp in their index constituent. Okay, and then one way to, so they have the stocks like Xiaomi, Alibaba, being included into this Hong Kong index. So the Hong Kong Tracker Fund 2800 is one way in which that you can invest in Hong Kong, which have Tencent, Alibaba, and Xiaomi, and all the other financial companies. So, but the only way you can invest in this is that you have the so-called SIP qualification. All right. If you do not know what is that, you can just Google SIP, CDP, and then you can look into that. Okay, there's this e-learning course which you can go and take a course, pass the test, and then you can trade SIP. So this is mainly what SGX, they're trying to curb people from trading into specific investment products, mainly exotic ETF, which there are a lot in the US. So I don't understand why like an index fund like this, they classify under SIP. Okay, so if you want to invest in Hong Kong in a simple way, this is one way you can do it. Okay, so what happens with the news like Xiaomi? Okay, 14 August is when the news came out. So the next week on Monday, it gap up, and then it's continue to move off. As fund managers or whoever they need to include Xiaomi into their funds, if they are tracking the Hong Kong index. Okay, so it's like part of their mandate. Whereas like Baba did not move much. Okay, the reason why it did not move much is because it already moved here. Okay, because the news came out somewhere in mid-June, end May, I think it's end May or early June, and everybody are speculating Baba is confirmed to get in, so traders are already invested into this. So therefore, when the actual index or news came out, it doesn't really move much, compared to Xiaomi. And then JD.com was included into their, I think it's a Hong Kong tech index or something. Okay, so this is the one. Okay, so and therefore there's a huge rally the past 2 days. Okay, and I keep mentioning about this stock. Hai Di Lao. So if those who trade this Hai Di Lao, right, there's a rally today, but I will say there is news coming out, so you just be careful. Next day or the following day, see what's going to happen. Make sure you check the results, see how is it expected result or no more than expectation and or as such. And this stock I kind of like a bit I want. I was monitoring this stock. Okay, this stock is Homeland International. Does what it does is more in casino gambling, online gambling, mobile phone games, and stuff. Okay, so the reason why I'm looking at this is it's an all-time high stock. It's doing a consolidation, and this is something quite unique. It has a 50% return on equity. Okay, so but I totally did not trade this is because for the past 3 weeks I kind of like forget about this stock. I didn't monitor it, and then it's been running for the past 2 weeks. Okay, so when I see this, it's like, oh, how did I miss this? All right, so these are some of the I just post this is to share some of the requirements that I look to find stocks like this. Okay, mainly is I want to look at stocks that are trading at a new all-time high price. Okay, so this is IPO. Okay, so this is the IPO price. It break up, make a new all-time high, and then it consolidate for a period of time. Is what I call basing. Building a base. Usually I like at least 1 month. And for this it does like what from here February all the way to July, like 4 months of base. So this is a nice base, whereby insiders, people who likes these stocks, they tend to accumulate these stocks, and then thereafter once it's ready, no more sellers ready, and then they will just buy up and push the price up. So usually these are the type of stocks, these are the requirements, and then if they have something like this ROE I think is the one I just do a quick check. If it's good, then it's a very positive sign. Because ROE is like return on equity, is like whatever the shareholders, they put their money into the company, how much return, can they generate from a dollar. So every dollar that's inside, they can generate 50 cents out of it. So which is high, because most of the trusts, like REITs in Singapore, is only about like between 7 to 10%. Some of the better companies, growth companies, tend to have like 20% to 30%. So 50% is really a high number. Okay, so that's all I have for today. Do you guys have any questions?
Hey, Wilson,
Yeah.
how about Keppel Corp? Can buy and keep?
Keppel Corp. Okay, Keppel Corp. This is mainly news driven. What it has done is that Temasek has revoked the deal on Keppel Corp. So okay, Keppel Corp is a little bit tricky. Okay, if you check on the news, right, it mentioned that it has a loss of about, I think, 900 plus million or something, if I remember correctly. But out of this 900 plus million, right, they did a provision of about 600 plus million, which means to say if they did not have this provision, right, they're actually a profitable company, which means to say Temasek should honor the deal and do the buyout at $7.30. Okay, so I don't know. I think they purposely put in that provision to cancel this deal lah. Okay, so with that, right, this provision, when are they going to take it out, or are they going to use it? Nobody knows. I definitely do not know. Okay, so once they take out that provision, right, I think they will time it in a way whereby when they announce the result, then they will take out this provision, and then if to so-called boost their profitability and then push the share price up. So in the near term, I don't think it's a good it's a good stock to buy. All right, unless you want to catch bottom. Previously, I'm mentioning last week, right, that it's doing a very nice pattern over here, but it did not follow through. No, it continued to trend down all the way to test its low. So I would say there might be more downside, to happen. Okay, yeah, I think there are still more downside, so I don't think it's a good time to buy yet. Is there any other question? International cement. International cement I mentioned previously is a little bit of a illiquid stock. Okay, previously was this is an insider trade, bought up by directors. So at this moment, but there are a lot of trades done, which is a good sign. But we have to see the next few days how is it. So the main thing is you just have to set this alert here at 5 cents. If you were to break up one day, right, then you just buy one tick above, like 5.1 cents. So at this moment, I would think we just have to consolidate because this is a one-off buy by the director. There are many reasons why they buy. So if it is a positive news, most likely it will start to turn up, as more of their friends, insiders start to accumulate into the stock. So if this happens, right, then it's a more positive sign. So at this moment, it's still hard to say whether will this be a good buy. Mainly is I do not know whether they are the supplier to HDB or some construction companies. Okay, thank you everyone.